So hello and welcome to the Donny Chaingang. We're live down here in the Full Speed Event Studios. We're subterranean, we're going underground. It is well and truly deep down and dirty, and we are in Innsbruck in Europe. And when I say we, it's me, Matt Payne.
And me, Emma Martin.
Good to see you, Emma.
I'm here.
I've been down in the studio all day testing and doing all sorts of things. You've been out and about. What's it like out in the real world these days?
Well, there was daylight earlier on
it?
today. There was indeed daylight earlier on today, I can confirm. But it's nice to see the studio a little bit brighter tonight, thinking, Thursday, it's not a Sunday. I'll come join you. Have a bit of fun.
Indeed, and it is the Donny Chaingang, and this is the open to all riders ride here tonight. So this is where most people start off their Chaingang journey, really.
Well, who wouldn't want to start off their Chaingang journey here? And tonight it is indeed the Innsbruck King of the Mountains after party. It could be explosive. There could be celebrations. There could be some very fast riding.
There should be some very fast riding. If you haven't watched this, we've always start and end. We start in the pens and we end at a fixed point, and that is going to be the KOM at the top of the hill. It's 3 laps of the Innsbruck ring today, then up onto the Innsbruck, even it'll be the Innsbruck King of the Mountain. We'll be able to say it by the end of the show, and we finish at the KOM or QOM Arch, and that is at 37.2 kilometres. There's then the warm down to the Blue Banner, and that is to the 40-kilometre mark. So up to the top of the hill, march up to the top of the hill, and then march them down again. We're going down the far side, and the warm down is in to the finish of the Blue Banner. Now, the yellow beacon is Russ. Russ, of course, the man who dreamt up this. And I've got to say a big thank you to him. He is busy plotting and planning the routes for February. Now, if you're a member of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club, you can access Tuesday's rides. You get links all sent direct to you. But a reminder, if you are a monthly member, if you join every month, it's the end of the month. This is your very last ride as a member of January. You need to rejoin for February.
Flashing lights.
Big flashing lights, because next month, on the 1st of the month is February, and I'm not going to be here. So if you don't have the link, if you haven't entered on time, don't come running to me, because I'll be on an airplane going over to the Czech Republic to cover the Cyclocross World Championship. So please, guys, if you're a member of the gang, you can take advantage of getting the links direct to your inbox. If you get the discount codes, if you get all the information that comes out in those emails, if you're planning on going to those, please do make sure you join for February. February members, well, they get the discount code and the access code to that Nola's meal out, which is going to be in the middle of February. We are, of course, at the moment being looked after by Goodyear, and it looks to me like the riders are almost on the way. Now, I'm down on the I was going to say the business end of the studio. It's the confusing side of the studio. Emma is on the side of the studio, which is a little bit closer. Just describe what you've got in front of you, Emma.
What I've got in front of me?
Yeah.
Nothing.
You've got a monitor or 3.
Well, I have a monitor or 3 in front of me, but it's a beautiful clear space at the moment, very much unlike what Matt has in front of him, which is lots of boxes and wires. So whilst Matt
and about 5 screens, I think. So I'm hoping that one of those screens is going to show us the ride.
Well,
should we take a look?
Go on, give it a go.
Ready?
1, 2. Yes!
Here we go.
Look
okay.
At that.
So we are out with the ride. We're in with the Chaingang. We are just going underneath the start banner, and hopefully all of our riders have set off through those pens. We're just in with Andy Cooley, one of our real fast riders. Somebody who's really made himself at home on the gang, but we're just going to take a little bit of a run back a bit here. 1 or 2 people just not getting out
on
the pen.
That start, not getting out of that pen at the moment. Bundy at the moment 12 seconds back from the main group. Now, Matt, is there late join on Donny Chaingang?
There is indeed. That means for 30 minutes you can rejoin, and it will magically transport you by the power of Swift up to the main group, and it will drop you in with our yellow beacon group.
Yeah, you can do indeed. So really useful to make use of that. I had to make use of that yesterday as red beacon on the WoW Chaingang. because I had a little technical issue with my computer yesterday and had to disappear off and find my laptop, and I joined late as Red Beacon. So, you know, not just riders joining, but it's essential for everybody that late join. So if you have an issue on the start line, if you need to drop out and drop back in, it does work and drops you straight back in the middle of the group on pedal assist.
So looks like Bundy at the moment, the rider chasing. In front of him is a man who took his very first win on the Tuesday, Donny Chaingang. Congratulations, Mr. Gareth Licence, the man who took the win on Tuesday. Good lad. That's not easy done, that.
Well, it is all about being there and being the right moment, really. You know.
You've got to be in the right place, right time, and you've got to have the legs to make it count. And
if it's taken
Gareth
4 years, it is well worth it.
It's taken 40 years, it's well worth it, I think. So just watching Gareth, who's made his way back into that group. The bunch just starting to get up close and personal. We are on our way around the circuit. We've got a series of left and rights. We go round the loop, round the lap, the bottom of the circuit, and before we head up. Now, Emma, you've ridden and raced at the main circuit repeatedly.
Yes.
You know this circuit allegedly inside out.
I very, very rarely have gone up the large hill at the end for the after party.
Up the KOM after party, QOM
I think I've done it
party.
Once.
Yeah, it's probably a really good idea. Aaron, he really deserved that first Tuesday. Yeah, I'd tell you, Gareth has been knocking on the door for a while, so no surprises to see him right up there. Rich Lammy just joining us. Now, let's just pull in for you a little bit of an indication whilst we watch Mr. Licence of today's course. It's 3 laps of the Innsbruck ring with the leg snapper. Now, the leg snapper is that little pimple that you can see coming in, and it drops in at about 5k, about 14k, and then at about what is 23k. So we do 3 laps of the standard Innsbruck ring circuit before we go on to the main climb here. How would you be treating this if this was you riding this, Emma?
Well, I love the Innsbruck ring. I absolutely love it. I cannot say how much I like this course. I would be treating this as sitting in the bunch, taking a tow, ensuring I don't get dropped on the little leg snapper each lap, and really awaiting the large after-party climb.
Okay, let's see how many people are going to do that. We're just in with Gary Patterson is nicely tucked in. I can see Mr. Mason has joined us, and just seeing coming flying through my screens, the one and only Russ Downing, our leader. The Bear is in action tonight. We're going to try and get a view of Russ as he makes his way in and into the melee. That is the front of the group here. Russ from Downing Cycling, of course, the man whose bright idea it was to put the Chaingang on to Swift in the first place.
Well, that Innsbruck ring, that lap, Matt, is 9 kilometres. So that's 3 laps of 9, and then the additional element that is mainly all uphill.
Mainly is all uphill,
well,
I think. I don't think it's that much that it's not all that much of a changing gradient, is it? I think for me the graphic that illustrates this the most is this one. The little section, the little green section at the bottom,
makes the leg snapper look like nothing, doesn't it?
It does, it does. And then we got the big climb at the end. It really does illustrate just how tough this is. Russ charged with keeping everybody together at the moment. You can just see that we are on the side of the bridge going over the station at the moment, and you've got the mountains surrounding our riders. This is a long drag though up here, and when you race the Innsbruck ring, this can be really, really mean. Now, traditionally, this has always been pre-go, go, go. It has been pre-trigger point. Traditionally, the trigger point has always been on the way around the back.
Well, I think the trigger point tonight. Will Russ, this is the key question tonight, will Russ leave it to the final climb, or will he go earlier with go, go, go?
I don't know.
I know, it depends, doesn't it? I wonder how he's feeling. There's a big long stretch on the group at the moment. You know, Russ is right on the front. So currently sat 8th out of 79 riders tonight on the Chaingang, all strung out and rolling through Innsbruck at the moment. We are in with Russ Downing. He's the rider with the yellow chevron over the top. He's the leader here tonight. This is, wow, I think this is going to be really interesting, but we've got a bit of a break in the group at the moment because the stretch on the front there has caused a little bit of a gap. They're going to have to squeeze back on that group who are off the back at the moment.
And it's a big group that is already off the back here, and that is very dangerous because when you come in to awards, the leg snap, we've got a few people just on the way back here. Chris Cadham is going to have to do some seriously hard work to get back on again. Kai Davis
is pushing as well.
Well, Kai Davis, the one thing about Kai Davis is you know that he's going to be able to get back on. He's super fast, super quick. He's already gone for the lightweights and lightweight bike here. And when you take a little look behind him, no one behind, but the group is in front. He will be able to get up on that climb. Stelton Rudd is just going to come in. So Tomlin is going to pull a bike change.
Seriously?
At the bottom
well,
of the
he
leg
wants.
snapper.
I'll tell you something. He really wants to hope that Russ hasn't let it go by then, because if it's already, you know, on the red light, use that word. If the power has already been engaged, stopping to change your bike is not a great tactic because you're going to lose. Wow, 14, 15 seconds.
You reckon you could do a bike change in that time?
Well, it depends. I think the only good time to do a bike change is when you're going onto gravel and you have your road bike that you have ridden, and then you've got a final gravel climb, and you choose the gravel bike that is in the garage literally next to your road bike, so the bike swap is really, really quick. If you've got to go into your garage and scroll for the bike you want, that's just asking for trouble.
Yeah. I would agree with that. It is definitely not what I would be doing on the run in, although I think it would probably be just about worth it if you knew exactly where it was in your garage and how fast you could find it.
That's true.
So, for example, I currently ride for most of my riding on Specialized Wenger. Wenger, for me, is the option of choice for the flat. The Atheos is then my climb bike. It's right next door in the garage, so that's pretty quick.
But you've got to be convinced that you're going to be able to save the seconds.
On that climb, yeah. On the Chaingang mountain, it's a mountain top finish, so could well be worth it. 10 seconds for a bike change on PC is currently going rate according to Aaron
That's
Cooley.
a good bike change. I was being, generous with 14.
Yeah. Other things coming through on the chat tonight. Last night's WoW was a disaster for me, Mike. Wrong sprint line.
Yeah, because of course, Noel, when the Donny Chaingang goes to Paris, they finish on the yellow banner, the green banner, sorry, the sprint banner on the lap. The WoW, we finish on the orange lap banner.
Yeah, that does make a huge, huge distance.
Yeah, Tracy getting
through.
caught out, and she was in a good place as well, a good position in the pack last night too.
Well, let's see how they get on. This group ascending the way up towards the top here. It doesn't look too strung out at the moment. That's going to be really, really key. Aaron Cooley, how long for the bike change from Tom? It will be very interesting as they get on there. Will be very interesting. About 10 seconds. Another good change there by Tom Lindley. Faster on his fingers then than you are, Emma.
Well, you've got to get it right.
Yeah.
It's one thing practicing your bike change, and practicing it. It's another thing doing it when the pressure is on.
It is. One man who we know can perform time and time again under pressure is Leon Mazzoni. Leon in with here and on his way up that climb. He's nicely tucked into the group. Looks like Tracy Seeley having problems with her memory yesterday, by the way. I can't remember from the WoW finished that banner before.
We've probably finished, to be honest, we have probably finished them both.
Yeah, you've got to read the rule book. You've got to read the right book, the guidelines.
Well, anyway.
There you go.
I'm not going to be the fastest rider tonight, G. So even though he's planning on doing a bike change, he's not thinking he's going to be the quickest.
We will see. Now, over the top of this group go. They are already on the way down. You can see the gaps have opened up. It's 7, 8
and
seconds back.
And this is what this course does, this Innsbruck ring. You really have to watch where you are. Even if you think you're with the group, 1 second at the top as you go around that right-hand corner, creates a gap.
And you can see how far back we're having to scroll just to get to the yellow beacon here. If we take the map view out, you can see that it is a long string in front and in fact behind the beacon. And Downing in that group, just trying to keep that pack together. The teams on the front rows on the front just easing off. It's going to come back together again, I think, before we come over the top of this next section here. We do this little drag up and then it's another drop down where it's going to start spreading out. And you can just see that happening as they go over the top here and into this descent. Let's see how they get together when they come on. And as a leader, I mean, you've been a beacon, yellow beacon, red beacon of the BHow Chaingang, your regular lead rider for the Aeonian squad as well as the DS. The group's cooperation when you're doing a ride is really key, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You know, the group cooperating is absolutely key. And you need to keep the group tight around yellow. That's what you need to do, and you need to be absolutely convinced that the riders know the rules. They know that is what this is part and parcel of. You know, this is stay around yellow until the go. The pace comes from the yellow beacon. It doesn't come from the front of the pack. So that is exactly where you want to stay. It's almost like, think about it as a neutral rollout on a race. But that neutral rollout is decided by the yellow beacon in terms of the pace of that rollout. But you are not, the race is not live. It's not a race, it's the Chaingang, but it is not live until it is released by the yellow beacon.
Indeed, and you can see the damage that's been done here. Mally Taylor sitting between 2.5 and 3 watts per kilo here, has a distance. He's 8 seconds back on Tim Byrne. Byrne behind Davis and Chopin and Keyworth. This group, whilst Downing's on the front in the yellow, he has made it back to the group. It looks like it's a 20+ second gap, about 25 seconds separating the back of the group. In the front, there's some very fast riders. Tim Byrne, one of our very quick riders, a regular rider on Zwift, who has been distanced at this stage, and that is dangerous.
It is. And I'm taking a look at that. You're right, aren't you? There's a few riders off the back here going up that climb and coming down the other side has actually really stretched that group, and the riders who are off the back really are now off the back. That's like 32 seconds now. We did say that when that group accelerates on the downhill section of this course, the pace at which the kilometres pick up is phenomenal.
Yep. Yeah, the speed really picks up over. It's a knife-edge top to the leg snapper. You go up, you dive down, and once you go over the top, the riders who are still going up are going very slow, and everybody's diving down. It's going a lot faster.
It just stretches. It really, really stretches. And then it's such a hard job as a lone rider to get back on, because you've got a pack. Well, it's a pack of about 75 riders there, you know, all motoring. And even though the pace is not high, it's sitting around 2.5 watts per kilo. You know, trying to chase a group of 75 riders when you are a lone rider behind, it is just a demoralising task.
And Wayne Barr here skirting with that sort of yo-yoing off the back here. Wayne, we know, very, very strong indeed. I think he's holding back to see if he can help the riders back on here, but that is dangerous. I think I can just about make out on the biggest and clearest of our screens, Kai Davis, who is at 12 seconds. He can see the pillar of light up in front. So can, or can he? No. So Tim Byrne, just coming into sight of the yellow pillar. Looks like, I think, Mally Taylor not going to make the junction because that pace not going to be high enough. So it's Wayne is off the back. He's okay off the back. We've got Kai Davis heading for Wayne's wheel. We've got Tim Byrne. I think Tim likely to make this back on again if he gets some assistance. It's going to be very, very tough though. Byrne at the moment, the rider on the chase, trying to get back in with the group. We are coming round to complete lap number 1 of 3 of the Innsbruck Ring here on the Donny Chaingang, supported by Goodyear Tyres, because the members of the DCG gang, 30% discount all year from Goodyear Tyres, which includes Continental Tyres as well. A massive thank you to Shelley at Cambrian Tyres. for looking after our riders and members of the DCG gang. Now, this group are just starting to come together here, just starting to pick this up. This is what the Chaingang's about, isn't it?
4 individual riders now as a group, now working together as a group. They stand a much better chance of pulling that back in, and they can look at that. The power up has been dropped. They are now going to work together, I hope, and close down the gap. And you can see the gap now down to around 7 or 8 seconds. So utilising that draft, really, really useful. I love it when the groups get back on. Last night, we had a rider off the back and we worked together and towed back on. We had breadcrumbs come off the back of the group and we got the rider back in. The second time we tried it, it was a bit too close to the go, 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 and we never made it. But well, that formed the party bus. Where's the party bus going to be tonight? Because this group, I think they are going to attach themselves to the Yellow Beacon group.
I think they're firmly going to be in there. They're on the way. So here we go. Tim Byrne about to get onto the back of Simon Oxon. Wayne Barr in there. McCarthy in there. Here we go. Making the way up and through. Very interesting chat about the state of racing and the state of the road scene at the moment. I'd probably argue at the moment there are as many road pros racing abroad as we have ever had. That covers our under-23s and our junior riders who are out racing for teams. We have a massive presence on the continent.
I'm sure at a VIP dinner I hosted at the Road Crits last season, the number was around 130.
So last year alone, there was 130 riders living and racing on the continent.
Yep. It's a phenomenal number.
Phenomenal number, riding really strongly abroad. We know quite a number of those. If you were a continental rider and you were capable of riding on the continent, why would you ride and race in the UK?
I was going to say the only reason could be is because you like it cold and wet.
Good answer, rather you than me. Did you know the only reason to stay in the UK is because you want to stay at home with the family or you want to stay with your friends or the scene that you know? Because you're going to get great racing, you generally get looked after, lots and lots of people are out and racing, and I would say at the moment the strength of the British riders and British riders within good quality squads is probably as good as it's ever been.
I could also say I have a sister who lives about 5k from the Calder Rats. I don't think they have ever seen so many riders doing hill reps on the Calder Rats this winter than ever.
Yeah, because the availability, the options to travel, now that the wonders of Brexit are fully appreciated and the amount of work, people now have that getting a visa down to go work and live, down to about a 3-month process now to get that sorted when you go through, and that makes a big thing. Chris Ball, Brexit's not helping. Well, generally we're finding, yes, it's not helping. It does mean that the riders are having to be very scheduled and planned in what they do and how they get their visas to be there. You can't just go as a member of the European community, because we didn't apparently want to be part of that club, and we all wanted to take back control and become our own parochial little island. So that's how it's been done, and now it means that everybody going over, it's very expensive and it's very, very difficult to get the visa, but it's not impossible. I think it's almost meant that the riders would go on more determined to stop
and
there.
more committed.
It's a bit like when...
So I'm not quite sure how you can be even more committed.
But when you think about Australians or the New Zealand riders who make the way across to the European road scene, they're a long way from home, it's taken them a lot to get there. You know they're going to work hard. You know they're going to be in there, and they're going to be absolutely committed to that, and I think that's what's happened. That's what's happened. The brakes make them more committed, and they stay there.
Well, they have to be, don't they?
Yeah, it's a big investment, definitely.
Well, that big investment may well be paying off with a number of riders progressing, which is fantastic to see. This pack are also progressing. They're progressing well around this course. On to lap 2 of the Innsbruck Ring. Now, 3 laps, I think, of this there are, aren't there, Matt, on this course tonight?
There are indeed 3 laps of the Innsbruck Ring. We are on lap number 2 of 3. My counting skills run.
I have to
strength
keep
today.
checking that Matt is able to count. It is one of those things you have to keep reminding him to do in the studio, because at some point there will be number confusion from Matt Payne.
There is always number confusion from me. Always, always, always. I'm going to very quickly dodge.
Oh dear, that's so funny. If legitimately you are indeed taking a bathroom break, then legitimately the coffee break is fine, isn't it?
It's about timing, though. It's about timing. It is considered bad form to take it when the go, go, go happens. Because that
So
initial burst of acceleration...
I thought you were going to say your initial burst of excitement.
No, well, your initial burst of excitement or acceleration should be dealt with by you not pressing a button on the computer. It should be done by your ability to stay
Time
with
your
the group.
bathroom break at the appropriate moment.
Exactly, exactly. Now, really interesting chat on here. Is Mr. Holwell here? Surely he's a firm favourite. Yes, Phil Holwell is indeed here tonight. He is indeed a firm favourite. He's on the right-hand side of the screens in orange with a flat cap on his head. I am pretty certain that is going to be Mr. Holwell. I have seen him actually make his way in and through. And when I get a chance, I will jump all over it so we can put a pointer on him, because he's got to be a big favourite. Just there he is. Oh, nearly got him. Going to get him this time. Here we are. Mr. Phil Holwell himself is here in the orange, on the orange trombite with the orange and yellow. Phil is a superb climber based on the edge of the Peak District, Sheffield. He is a superb rider and a racer when it comes to cyclocross. He's got lots of off-road skills and on the mountain bike, and he's blooming handy on the Chaingang as well. His kind of finish uphill super lightweight rider is Phil. We will see how he's going to get on. We do have some of our young guns here. Tom Lindley has been notable by his chat, so already clocked that he is on board on here. We also have Isaac Oliver with us here, so Isaac just touched into the group. Going to go up above here to try and keep an eye on which rider Isaac is today, which kit is in the black kit with the flat cap on. Going to try and get a view of him somehow.
Oh, it's
somewhere.
going to be the flat cap climbers, isn't it?
It is flat cap.
You
flat
couldn't say
cap
that.
Climbers, I can't.
The
No,
flat cap climbers.
I simultaneously thought of the man who has his own gravitational field for cars.
Pardon?
From lifting gear. A certain climber, I wonder who's going to know who he is first, if you know his name. The man whose car's so big that they have their own interplanetary field between them. A man who can climb, put out so many Watsy Snaps frames for fun. Also well known for wearing a flat cap whilst climbing. The lifting gear team do it regularly. See if anybody can name him. There you go. I'll tell you about it in that show, because I might remember by then. Okay, let's jump in with Johnny Atkinson from Cryogen in here. Lots of the big teams represented here on the Chaingang. We've got the Cryogen squad in here. They were on the lookout for riders the other day.
Well, there you go. Also in District are in here as well. I've seen John Dixon on the bike as well. So always good to have local clubs out as well as the Swift teams.
Indeed, we've got people from further afield. I've seen John Garford from the Royal Navy Royal Marine Cycling Association. He is here on board. Chris Ball, despite having the Italian flag, is actually probably the nearest rider to the studio riding tonight. In just down the road in Staveley, actually.
Oh, well, yeah, that is quite
I
close
almost
to
walk to his house most days when I walk the dog. There you go.
There you go. Interesting, not just Cryogen riders, also Galaxy riders in here as well. So great to see the Galaxy team with riders on the Chaingang too.
And at the moment, taking a little look at this group, we have got some real gaps opened up between the riders once we fly our drone through the group. You can see the gaps are opening up behind those riders at the back. You are going to be in major trouble if you're not careful. Gary Plunkett, Parish Plunkett is going to be in trouble. He's got to squeeze here to get on. Looks like Cummings could be in trouble here as well, because on the climb this is going to make things difficult, giving away a lot of energy on that bike.
Yeah, Definitely, and really needing to squeeze on now and to try and close that gap down. But 9 seconds is just going to stretch on that corner, and look at that. That's the rider on the back of the group going round and over. Cummings now coming up, and it's Plunkett who has gone up and over. Jason Oxenholm and Main and Ball, they are the riders on the back of the group, and take a look at that. I said it was going to stretch. It stretches amazingly. You cannot see the rider coming around the corner, and Cummings now out of sight and out of mind.
And that gap, although it's 12 seconds, it's a big distance on that descent. Behind the gang are there. Oh, Chris Ball has now just got his Italian passport through. Congratulations, Chris. Now you're back in the club. Means do you know what? There's amazing things you can do with that. It means you can travel to Europe whenever you want to.
So you don't have to worry about your 90 days and every 180.
No, you don't. And you know what? You could go work over there for a bit if you want. You won't have to get a visa, go to the embassy, surrender your passport, go through the interview. Yeah. But you do have to. But you do have to give up the fact that you've now got a black passport that you could have had anyway. Well, you might have that as well. Oh, amazing!
You could have two.
The irony of it all. You could have two.
Italian and British.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Chris. Big style. Absolutely.
I wonder if those people who voted for it feel foolish.
No.
Do you think they were convinced it was the right thing, and it still is?
Lots of them, yes.
Well, there's no accounting for human beings. We managed to self-extinct them. They wanted the country back.
I don't know who had taken it, but you know.
Yeah.
I thought it was still in the same place.
Yeah, maybe it has. Oh, Chris Ball's going house hunting.
Oh,
Italy.
Pick a nice one, Chris.
Yeah, pick a very nice one. I'm sure he will. There are some not so nice houses in Italy, but there you go. Right, enough talk of depressing things.
There's nothing depressing.
No, not about Italy. No, not really. It's good.
No.
Nice food, wine, etc.
Too right.
Okay, now
nice
let's take
Barolo,
let's take a check. Altaf Hussein is in here with us. Good to have Altaf in on the gang, the brothers on bikes rider, back with us once again. Altaf, a bit of a talisman, as we've seen. He's doing all sorts of great rides out and about. Currently when the Tour de Zwift Jersey, I suspect by the look of it. I'm just going to try and get a view here. Altaf on that orange Tron bike, making his way up. Let's see he's in here once again, and back with us. Mr. Whitehead on board as well, approaching what is 30 minutes of riding. Tristan from Shevin Cycles. Good to see Tristan on the Chaingang once again, another of our regular riders.
I'm sorry, I'm loving the fact that they are eyeing each other up and trying to work out who is on the ride, and hence who do they have to beat up the climb, or who do they think, or who do they assume is going to take the win today?
I can think of a few favourites.
Yeah, well,
that's
I think
for
they're
sure.
trying to work out whether those favourites are here or not.
I'll be interested to see how Mr. Lindley goes today. He's been saying he's not going to be the fastest on there. In riding in the pink and blue. Kai Davis, yes, finish banner at the top of the climb is the finish line. If you are watching on the screens, top right-hand side of your screen, as if by magic, the finish line at the Innsbruck KOM Arch at 37.2k. That's where you're heading, ladies and gents, to the top. KOM finish, and then pick up those points on the spin down, quite literally a spin down off the hillside.
Yeah, 2.8 kilometres downhill. That is not going to take very long.
It's not. It's one of our longest warm downs on the DCG on the Donny Chaingang. Kai Davis is tuned in. Good to see you are tuned in, and hopefully that has illustrated where you are heading, buddy. And we can, of course, also give you just a little sample. You're going up there, babe. It's at the top
Look
of
at
the
all
hill.
that yellow.
I tell you what, let's put it on something a little bit easier to see. More like that. There we go. So yellow at the end, big climb at the end. We are coming round to complete the lap. Our riders are going to be able to see the course in front at the moment. So hopefully everybody able to see where they're heading. They're going to see that gantry coming up and lined up in front. A quick reminder. You need to make your way all the way to the top of the climb, then make sure you have that spin down. The ride finishes, as we always do, at a fixed point, and that fixed point is on the top. So one more leg snapper Then we're going up onto the KOM, QOM. We've just made our way through, so we have one leg snapper lap left, the Innsbruck ring. Then we have the big climb to finish off.
How do we want to know some stats on the big climb?
Go on then, let's scare everybody.
So 7.4 kilometres in length.
Okay.
Yeah. 5.4% is the average gradient.
Yep.
Yeah. It's not strong enough. I always think there should be steeper sections on it, but there aren't. So just 5.4%. It is pretty steady, you know. There's not a huge change in gradient. There's a slightly steeper section earlier on, a little kick, and then a flat section about a third of the way up. There's another kicker at around 2/3 of the way up, but it is pretty much a steady, constant gradient.
For me, one of the key things here is the way that when you get onto those steeper sections, keep it on rolling over the top. I think it's very, very, very important to make sure they go over. Now, is a tactical coffee break over the leg snapper poor form or clever? Ooh, he went there, he opened that can of worms. Let's see what the answers come. Oh, we will see. Now, heading around these turns, we're about to go on to the section across the far end over the underneath the railway line. So just going underneath the railway line at the moment. You can just see the riders underneath that bridge, and then taking that right hand slight bend here, heading out on to lap number 3 in with Fran Breen at the moment. Now as we make our way through, Chris Goddard nicely tucked in this group. Looks like Vin Donahoe is in here as well. Dan Farrand in with us. Can see Daniel in with us from the True Sapien squad.
Yeah, look at that.
Been a little while since we've seen Dan on the ride. Looks like we've got Sean Moore with us as well. Sean nicely tucked in there as well. And I'm not sure if I haven't seen a very smart move there by somebody who came through very, very quickly indeed. I'll confirm that in a moment. Now, good to see that Tracy's on board here, one of our double Rafa 500 in riders, Finn and Tracy, vodka and tonic, as they know, V&T. And they've already signed up, got the tickets for the Donny Chaingang supporters of the DCG gang meal out, which is
February the 17th.
It is indeed.
Looking forward to that.
Yep, going to be really, really good. And please do make sure you get tickets.
Yeah, there are still tickets available, so please do log on, sign up, and take a seat at the table.
Yep, definitely. Now, if you are joining up in February, there is going to be an email going out on February the 1st with the details of the ride on there to February members. And, of course, it will contain the code that you need, because you need an access code to access your tickets to get on board. Please do make sure that you use that code when you join up. Basically, it means that we can do that. Don't worry if you buy a ticket and you can't make it either up till that 7 days in front, quite simply because we want to make sure that we get that absolutely done. We want to know maximum numbers so Stefano can sort out what is happening. So please do get your tickets bought nice and early. Really looking forward to that. Now, right hand turn, taking the corner, and going to be lining ourselves up now with the big long flyover. That's going to be coming up in front of our riders, just watching as we take a little bit of a swing around this group. They are pretty much together at the moment there. Reasonably good level of control, but this is where things start to get a little bit tough, isn't it, as you come on here, because this drag, it's longer than you think.
It is longer than you think, but it is just a drag. You just have to make sure you are concentrated and don't get dropped off the back, because automatically the power will push up a little. Now, I think I have seen one of my Aeonian teammates in here as well. I think we've got an Aeonian rider in here. I think Nina is joining us. I'm sure I have seen her in there. So that is also really good too.
It is. Tell us a little bit about Nina. Is she a regular rider? Must be a regular rider running for the Aeonian squad. It's one of our biggest squads.
It is indeed one of the biggest female racing teams on esports. So I think around 117 women racing for the Aeonian race team right across all categories, so right the way from the sort of A cats, the elite racing, right the way down through B, C and D squads. Huge number of riders, really good teamwork, team tactics, team management, just as you would expect.
Yeah, it's a big squad, big riders in there, and lots of riders racing across lots of different categories. Always good to see. And we are in at the moment, we've just seen the restart of the primary Zwift race series.
Yeah, so ZRL did indeed start again on Tuesday night. So those guys racing ZRL, that was a horrible, horrible route. So horrible that I have forgotten the name of it because I wanted to forget everything about
Is it coastal something? Or
I think it was Ocean's Cliffs.
Oh, the Ocean Cliff loop.
Sure, you look at it and you go, it's 19.2k. I can race 19.2k. Yeah, right. Who 2/3 of the way into the course puts that climb in?
Yep.
Absolutely eyeballs out in the red. Really hard. Ocean Lava Cliffside Loop. Tom Linley, you are correct. That is the name. And Stupid Muggins here raced it on Saturday to recce it before I raced it on Tuesday.
Might not have been the wisest of moves.
Should have just done a 1.8 watts per kilo recce ride rather than a race. And then the open race on Saturday, I finished in the leading pack. In the ZRL, I finished in the leading pack. On Tuesday, we went up the climb 15 seconds quicker.
Ouch, 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 ouch. Tom Linney, congratulations. Tom came in at 8th position.
Yes.
In Division 2 Cat A.
Brilliant.
I know. Anyone who's Cat A, full stop. A great result.
Nice job, Tom. That's what I say.
Good.
Yeah. But tell me, come on, you've got to own up. It hurt, didn't it?
Yeah, we'll see if Tom does say it definitely hurt or whether he's just going, no, not really, in which case we know we should try it out, mate. We will see. Mason, I got horribly dropped on the hill. Well, I'm not surprised. If you're racing, don't forget to make sure you keep tagging us in. We always like to know how our riders get on. Where can our riders get in touch with you, Emma?
Oh, you can get in touch with me at Viking Emma on Instagram. Please do get in touch. And you're quite right, Tom, it did hurt, didn't it?
A lot.
Yeah, I know.
Definitely. So do get in touch on Instagram. Don't forget you can follow all the people who keep the gang on the road. Russ, of course, is nice and easy. Russ Downing, Fuel CC, Bike, Flex, as well as Rocket Espresso. Don't forget, of course, that you can follow at Downing Cycling. You can follow at Full Speed Events, myself at Matt Fixpain and at Biking_Emma. And just as importantly, if not more so, all the names you see across the screen at the bottom, 1080 for your Oakleys. Just get in touch with the right man. You know who it is if you remember, because it's on your email. 30% on Goodyear tyres and on your Continental tyres. Basically, you have the option to get that discount if you're a member of the DCG gang. So I must thank you to show they are our primary sponsor for this month. Goodyear tyres, New Year. Get some good tyres for that new year. Goodyear tyres are looking after our riders. A massive mix of tyres and types. Don't forget, of course, Halo looking after our riders. They kicked off our support of the season with the Halloween in October, and still a discount on all your sealant, on valves, on new wheels. If you want deep carbon rims to go running on like Russ Scott, then do support the team who support your sport. Nonna's, of course, is where we're heading in February, and we're going to be heading to the Italian restaurant over there. Got to say a massive thank you to Stefano as well for his hospitality, looking after the members of the DCG gang when they go. Don't forget, of course, Gritty, a massive 20% discount all the way through with an extra discount as we came in, and a fantastic giveaway as well. And that was during November. OT looked after all the riders with a 30% discount in December and have 20% discount off now as well. So please, please, please do support the people who support your sport. If you don't use the discount, if you're not a member of the gang, please do tell them where you heard it from. It's a use it or lose it situation. If we don't use it, we will lose it. So please, guys, make sure you do. Don't feel guilty about using that discount code. It all helps us here on the Chaingang. We don't financially get any advantage from it, but what we do is it means that we can keep on getting those discounts for people who are members of the DCG gang. Now, the group splitting, the leading pack holding together, but big gaps opening as usual on this descent. We're not down on the way in to the main climb at the moment. You can see behind the riders, Evans here, about 3 seconds off the main group, another 3 seconds back through all these riders. Cannon, Craggill, Keyworth, Langmead, Whitehead, Gillard in here. Go back another 6 seconds. We've already jumped past people like Bobby Noble, past Tristan, from Dowtree in here. Looks like Manim in here as well. Manim Janua in here, one of our brothers on bikes. Tucked in with the group. Looks like Mr. Robertson now distanced from that group. And it looks to me like the danger is now that riders who are off the back are not going to get back on before we get onto the climb. Now, Manim Janua just at the moment distance. John Finney also distance. Kai Davies distance. Bobby Noble distance. Tim Byrne the same. Tristan Emtage in from Stellaton. This is a big group, and they are at the moment giving away quite a lot of time. That gap really has opened up that time up the leg snap of the group splitting with a big gap in between.
It is indeed in the top right hand corner of the screen. I love these graphics where you can see the multiple groups on the road all stretched out, and that yellow beacon, well, it's right at the front.
It is indeed, and you can see from that yellow beacon back a big old stretch. Now, I think in terms of riders that are going to get on to the group, these are the riders who have the last chance. It's this group here, which is Gillard, Brett Dowtree, Tristan Emtage in this group as well. They are going to have to push though if they want to get back in with the group, because that gap really has opened up at the moment. It is a long way out. It is well over about 20 seconds at the moment, I think.
There's some real effort coming in here. Kai Davis currently kicking around 6-7 watts per kilo, just trying to squeeze on to the back of that group, knowing that the second you're in, you can come off of that pace, but you've really got to push, and that is one huge effort there to try and get back in.
And he knows that he's got to make it quick. This is the group in the middle, caught in the middle. You've got Andy Whitehead, you've got Kai Davies, you've got Bobby Noble, you've got Mike Killingworth at about 8 seconds, Garfoot's at 8 seconds, Byrne at about 10 seconds on him, but they're not yet on to the back of the group, so that gap is going to sit there at the moment. So this is the Tim Byrne group. They are currently 11 seconds off the main group. They're about 6 seconds ahead of the last group that have probably got a chance of getting back on again. I think John Finney's not going to see the main group again. Not going to get not going to get on the same. Robertson and Mally Taylor now, they're going to be having to get their pace right, judge their effort to get into the finish. But that gap is not coming down, and I suspect now Tristan, Brett, along with John and Co and Ian from the Stellaton. I think that's it. It's not going to happen. 18 seconds from here back. Big gap.
That's the group that are now settled. They're settled, they've got a group, they've got a gang, they're going to ride together right now through and up this final climb. So
that's it. Jump on board, find a wheel, find someone to ride with, make sure that you know where you are on that course, know what you've got in front. Our leading group at the moment is the Yellow Beacon group. It's making its way in towards the line at the moment. So we're in with Owen Davis from the Cystic Fibrosis race team. He is going to see the gantry coming up in front. So that means our 3 laps of the Innsbruck Ring are going to be complete. And it's time now to head out and head up to the climb. The same initial start, but instead of turning right at the roundabout, we will go straight across, up the climb, over the bridge, and into the climb proper.
Well, I'm loving everybody dropping their power-ups in the attempt to try and get something better as they go under that banner. They need something better, and ideally they're going to want a feather, but you never know what you change it for.
Yep. To be honest, anything that you drop is worth dropping here, other than a feather, because it is the only, well, it's, you know, gas in the plastic population, the only way is up.
Well, that is true, isn't it? So whilst Matt is singing in the corner, everyone's looking for a feather. Yesterday, I did exactly the same, and I got a ghost. That has got to be the most useless power-up ever when you've got a beacon over your head.
You got a ghost whilst you were a beacon?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty pants. But that's a bit like having the fiery socks go down.
I know, they do the same thing!
Just, why would you?
Yeah. What, put fiery socks on?
Yeah.
Oh, because they're great for them.
Yeah, no.
Unless you're trying to hide.
Yeah, fiery socks are beacon, but ghosting doesn't really
No,
work.
it doesn't. Well, I'll tell you what is working. It's working for Tracy at the moment because she is sat in there really nicely. So absolutely in the middle of that pack, you can tell that is a rider who is drilled in riding and utilising the draft.
That's a rider who needs to get out more, spends too much time on Swift.
No, absolutely not. She spends a lot of time outside as well, and I'll tell you it's paying off because she is one phenomenally fast rider.
Definitely. One word answer, definitely.
Well, you just cannot argue with that, can you?
No, well, I could, but I'm not going to.
No.
It would be a pointless exercise.
It would be a pointless, pedantic exercise.
Yeah, that'd still be wrong.
Well,
right.
You heard it here, folks. Matt Payne telling the world he would be wrong.
Occasionally. Every now and then.
Sometimes.
Quite a lot of the time, really. But just don't tell everybody. Okay, we're just going to take a little bit of a run through our group here. This is a big, big group. I still make it
Well,
17.
Matt, the go has
What?
gone
Oh!
whilst you are counting. Russ has dropped the 3 Gs and they are motoring.
He's dropped it early today. Normally he waits until we're on to the climb. But this may well mean we are going to see a new fastest time up here, because we have got the 3Gs, the go has gone on the flat section. We're not even at the roundabout yet. This is going to be brutal. You can see this is one big long line, and this is some serious damage that's being done here. The power is on, and we're not even onto the climb yet.
Yeah, well, the snake has stretched. Look at that long purple line, because it is absolutely flying at the moment. And Tom Lindley now, well, that plan to change his bike, I think that's now gone out the window. He's stuck on whatever machine he's riding. He's going to have to put the power down and just hope he can stay with him.
I'm sure he changed bikes at the start of the race. Didn't he do a 10-second bike change?
Did he? I didn't see it.
I hope he hasn't gone for a bike for the flat, then go for the bike on the climb as well to change back. Hopefully he's on it. Oh, big move
There's a
gone.
flyer
Tim
on the
Byrne has
front.
gone. Tim Byrne has gone. That is Byrne, who I've just seen heading off down the road, I'm sure. And that is going to put the cat in amongst the pigeons, because that is a big, big kick by Tim Byrne. He's been chased, I think, by James Little. But it's Tim Byrne who went early. He's gone hard. Is he going to be able to hold on? The chasing pack behind are trying to come. It was 71 riders at the go. That is how many there were in that group. That means that all of a sudden things have exploded.
He's instigated a chase behind you now, because Kai Davis has come over the top. There are riders trying to jump onto the wheel and trying to take a toe up. 2 riders out front.
And if you get the gap now, if you can put that gap in early, you've got a good chance of holding it. This is actually a deceptively flat section as you come in from the roundabout to here. Now it starts kicking as you hit the banner, the beacon line over there, the red across the road, and it looks like we are seeing Davis, Lindley, Lobo in there. We've got Burns, got Varty, we've got Phil Holwell, the hotly fancied potential favourite on this climb. I think this is going to be really, really tough stuff here, because when you look at these riders now, Gareth Licence is motoring his way across. You've got riders who we know absolutely can kick it on here, holding back a little bit. Wayne Barr is on some storming form. We know he could be right up here at the front. Moore has been putting in some really, really good rides as well. Barker's in here, Chopper's in here, and look at this. Leon Mazzoni is in here.
Yeah, well, that is a strong, strong rider in there at the moment. Now 400 metres of climbing is what they face. They've done 240 metres already, so pretty much just under double the amount of climbing on this com they've had on the 3 laps of the Innsbruck Ring.
Well, look at this Vart. He's got the feather engaged. He's being passed though on the way up here. Kai Davis currently in 4th position. Phil Holwell has taken the front here, and Isaac Oliver is glued to his back wheel at the moment. I'm going to take that drone up slightly here so you can see our leading 3 riders. Holwell in 1, Isaac Oliver in 2, Tom Lindley in 3, Kai Davis currently in what is going to be 4th place, having to put a kick to get on here, because if this 3 rider group goes through and clear, they're going to have the gap. But Davis makes that junction. He makes it look easy coming across as well. Lindley up on the front, 4 riders, a quartet of riders, but they are being caught here. Guess who's coming across the gap? It looks like it's Downing who's tapping his way across here. He's going to be leading, I think, the rest of the group. Oh, in fact, he can't stay on his heel. So Russ sitting inside the top 5 at the moment.
The fastest time up this climb so far today, 16 minutes 22 seconds. Now the question is, will any of our riders tonight beat that?
16 minutes
22 seconds is the fastest time up this climb today.
Kai, Phil, Isaac, Tom, Russ, this is your mission should you choose to accept it. You need to beat 16 minutes 22 seconds up the climb to bring home the honour for the Donny Chaingang live on Zwift.
5,180 riders have already completed this segment today. Can the Chaingang goats go quicker?
Yes. I was really confident about that. I'm not really that confident at all. What kilometres is the finish again? Kai's memory is as bad as my counting.
37.2, I think.
I'm not sure. We will tell you in 2 seconds. I can't remember either. Here we go. There we are. 37.2 games.
Yes!
Up on screen. Well done, Emma.
Taking the win. Every small one counts.
A win's a win. Now, leading 5. They are. I'm not sure, actually, I should be that confident because the pace is backed off. I think there's some very tactical riding coming in here. Isaac Oliver, Tom Lindley, Phil Holwell and co are riding tactically at the moment here. They are not pushing on here, and that is dangerous. They might not be in with the chance of a win. Keith Richardson, hopefully 32 minutes. That would do.
That would do.
I'd be quite happy with that. We will see. So, Holwell at the moment tucked on this side. Isaac Oliver's put a kick in, though, and Oliver went clear at 7 watts per kilo. Here he's got the gap. You can just see the riders are trying to get alongside him. Lindley in the pink and blue doing that. Holwell in 3rd wheel. Kai Davis in the orange. He's in 4th. Russ Downing with the chevron over his head there in the Downing cycling kit, currently in 5th position. Behind our top 5, it is 12 seconds back to El Lobo here. Lobo leading the rest of the group. Then it's Barr, it's Mazzoni, it's going to be Hawkins, it's going to be Cooley, Wallace, Choppin, Campbell, Moore, Oliver, it's going to be Barker, it's going to be Spencer. They're all working hard here because we are on the climb. You can see Mr. Little back in with us, but our leaders up on the very front of this ride, they are well and truly clear. Isaac Oliver at the moment sitting at 6.2 watts per kilo. It's about holding those wheels. You just got over one of those little kickers, but you can see top right hand side of your screen. If we move our finishing line out of the way, you can see the profile there of this climb. You can see where the riders are. They're indicated by the little orange circle. It's directly above the slope. It's about a 3rd of the way up the climb.
Yeah, it's almost lined up with the road that's underneath it at the moment.
Yep.
But those riders, Russ now just distance off the back there, and then look at the gap back to the group map. That is absolutely huge.
That attack has indeed put Russ off the back. He has seen the gap open. It's Holwell. It's Davis. It is Lindley and Oliver. They now have 9 seconds on Downing. Mazzoni is leading the chase behind. He is 37. Let's repeat that. 37 seconds down on Kai Davis, and it's growing at the moment. Then we've got Shopping Bar, Oliver, Lobo. We've got Hawkins, Moore, Wallace, Parish Plunkett. It's probably the next furthest rider back. There's a bit of a gap there. Wallace needs to keep pushing here to squeeze in with this group because that will keep him inside that top 15. Barker has company, though, in the chase for 15th place. But I think everybody now knows that the winner today is going to come out of our leading four. Holwell, Oliver, Davis and Lindley, they're your leaders.
So 4 riders now at the front of this group. The group was 5. Downing now popped in between these 2 groups. Mazzoni on the chase behind. There are 6 riders, I think she says, at last count in that chase group before we then start to see the gaps opening up further back.
Tactics time. Tactic talk. Okay. My favourite bit. Would you be sitting in? Would you be pushing on? You've 21 seconds to Russ Downing
45
and 45 seconds to the chasing group.
Well, I just think it's a case of keep on tapping. Keep on going. Really, do you want to put an attack in now? Where are we? With 5k out?
I think you want to keep the pace hard. I think you don't want to let, if anybody's having a hard time, whether that's Davis, whether that's Lindley, whether that's Oliver or Holwell, if you're in with that group, you do not want them to recover. If they're having a hard time and you've got some reserves, you do not want to give them the chance to get recovery done because then they can attack you. Keep them on the back foot. Don't let them get the recovery in.
So Holwell setting a really strong pace here. Fluctuating around 5.5 watts per kilo, just backing off there, but then the gradient has just dropped to 2%. Now, we did say when we were looking at the profile of this earlier on that there was 2 slightly flatter sections, but the gradient kicking very, very quickly again because the average gradient 5.4% up here, 400 metres of climbing in total, taking it to 620 metres of climbing in the entire route tonight.
Great shot here, Kai Davis using that section to come up with the group. But look at this, you can just see as the 2 riders behind come around him. It's Holwell along with Oliver who go up on to the front once again. Holwell, though, is not kicking. This is not an attack, is it?
No, this is just a constant pace. This is setting a comfortable pace, not a comfortable pace, but setting a pace for yourself that you know you can push on at, and that while may work for you, may not work for the riders behind you.
So let's see who's going to be hold that speed. Downing just behind at what is now 30 seconds. You've got a lonely ride. The group are coming.
They
just
are.
about to see them in the distance. It's 17 seconds to chop in at the moment as Holwell starts to wind this up. And the pace at the front has just gone. Isaac Oliver has gone over and up to Holwell. And they are starting to put a little bit of a gap into the 2 riders behind.
We said it would be the flat cap pack.
That's true.
Yeah, and it is indeed those flat caps doing the business on this climb at the moment. Obviously, a secret power source.
It is. But this is also a steep section here. We're at 10%. At the moment, this is not easy. This is where it gets tough. We're already ascending. We already have nearly 490 metres. In fact, it's going to tick up there now. So with 1 hour done, 490 metres of ascent already covered. These 2 are starting to break clear.
They are, and what is happening at the moment is the 2 riders behind pretty much stayed at the same pace. Holwell and Oliver picked up their pace on that steeper section and were able to put more power down than the 2 riders behind. So now as the gradient starts to drop again, I'm expecting some of those riders to come back together again, but it's looking like Lindley looks to me, Matt, as though he is off the back and it has broken him.
It is indeed a gap that's open. It's 5 seconds back now. It started to break. It started to go clear. Kai Davis was able to respond to it. He gets onto the wheel and he goes straight over the top here. He's got the power. He's put the pace down. And this is trying to catch them out. They were working hard on the climb. He had kicked and he's attacked round the side. So Kai Davis at the moment He's making them work to come back to him on this section. It levels for a very brief period here. And interestingly, it's Isaac Oliver who's the first to respond there out of Oliver and Holwell.
Well, interestingly, that push on the flatter section would have lifted Davies' pace, which would have given him more momentum when the gradient started to kick again. So really great tactic there.
It is, but it's 10% again.
Yeah,
and
didn't
it's
take long,
gonna
did it?
scrub that speed off. It's distance. Lindley's now at 12 seconds. Got to remember, Tom was racing yesterday. That's never easy doing 2 days on the trot, particularly if you've given it absolutely everything in the race the day before. Don't know about R3 at the front. Were they racing yesterday? We'll find out. Kai Davis at the moment on the climb. Oliver is chasing here. 7 watts per kilo coming out of Davis. Oliver and Holwell are not doing that kind of pace.
They're pushing it at the moment, aren't they? Really pushing it and really trying to stay and not let Davis get a gap, because Oliver and Holwell were leading this for a long time. It was those 2 riders who were clear. This attack from Davis coming on that flat section where Holwell and Oliver just sat up slightly.
Indeed, and it's opened the gap.
Yeah,
4 seconds. It's going out. They are not putting out. If you look at the numbers, there is more power to weight coming out of Davis than there is out of Holwell and Oliver. And at the moment, I think Holwell is starting to open a gap on Oliver as well. Oliver's put the arrow in. That shot is a sign that he needs help. He needs assistance on here. He's using the power up to do so. Davis is clear on the front, and look at this. Oliver has used that draft on that section to get back on terms with Phil Holwell, but they're still giving away 5 seconds to this man, to Kai Davis, and look at the figures behind. They're dwarfed by his name floating over his head.
Oh, they've got 2 kilometres left to go on this climb. It's at 7, 8 seconds now. He's continuing to tap comfortably. We talked about that comfortable pace Holwell and Oliver were setting earlier on this climb. Kai Davies now doing the same thing. He's picked his pace and he's sat at that pace. Holwell and Oliver, well, is this now payback for the early pace on the bottom of the climb?
And he kicked. He's established the gap. You only need to get the gap once if you can hold off the riders behind. He's put that gap in, and that gap is increasing. It's 11 seconds now to these 2 behind. Have they settled for 2nd and 3rd place here, Emma? I don't think they're going to see him come back. The time is going to run out, and this may well be one of the most perfectly timed attacks by Kai Davis. We thought it was off the back. We thought he was swinging. He's not swinging down. He's on the up.
I think he was sitting there potentially comfortably as much as he could before he saw the opportunity to attack. And when he saw that opportunity, he absolutely went for it. But can Holwell and Oliver close that down? Well, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think that gap is just too big now. Now, Mick Hawkins, who's been putting in some monstrous rides on Zwift, he's made his way up onto the wheel of Russ, down in behind them. There is a gap behind you. You can just see, we're just looking across the side here of Mick as Russ continues to push. You've got Chopping, you've got Cooley, you've got Bob Mazzoni, we've got more in there. Then it's a gap back to Oliver and Parrish Plunkett. They're all giving best to our leaders at the moment. Up at the front, you've got Kai Davis. This is a chasing group of 2 in 2nd and 3rd place. Kai Davis, it is the one and only Kai Davis in 1st place at the moment.
And you know, he's continuing to push the power down. That is 10% at the moment, and he's not backed off. He's got the gap and he's not backed off. He's still working hard. I think he's off to that 16 minutes.
Surely 16:22 is the time to beat. 16:22. Russ didn't even realise he was on telly at that point in time till we talked about him. He had his eyes shut. I'm not surprised on the way up there. Tough stuff today. Wayne Barr putting in a good ride here with Chopping for company, and they've got Cooley and Mazzone right behind. It's a real train making its way up here. We will try and catch everybody on this climb. The man who's hardest to catch at the moment, Kai Davis, I'd love to know what his time is so far on the climb. We came in into this.
Matt, patience.
Not something I'm known for.
Well, Kai Davis is being patient at the moment. He's continuing to push. You know, his heart rate's sitting at 179 beats per minute at the moment. He's working hard up here. The power is huge as well.
The gradient's gone down, but he's continuing to push here.
Yeah.
31 seconds down as you come past what was the building site, not anymore. You can make your way up here. We've seen the buildings on the left gradually build over the course of the time that we've been coming. That was a building site.
Well, take a look at that, because on the top right-hand corner of your screen, that polka dot banner signifies the top of this climb. That is what he's aiming for. There is 500 metres to go. 500
metres to the line. Kai Davis can see the banner in front of him. We can see it as well. What time will he set today? It will be immaterial in terms of the win, because he's going to do that by about 40 seconds or so from Phil Holwell and Isaac Oliver. But Kai Davis today on an inspired ride up at the climb here of Innsbruck KOM on the Donny Chaingang. And Davis has still got the energy to sprint. Come on, Kai.
He's pushing for that time across the line.
He's got to make it. This is the kick. This is where it's going to count. He's in underneath the barriers. He's going to come up to the line. What's it going to be? He goes through the line. 16:49. What a ride by Kai Davis. He takes the win. This is the run for second place. Lindley has just gone to the rear. He's 42 seconds down. Isaac Oliver, though, he's the man in second place, and Phil Holwell has got to up his base. He's at 8.9 watts per kilos. He's kicking, but Isaac Oliver has got the gap. Will he be able to stay clear? It's going to be between these two riders. Oliver in the black. Holwell is coming. Is he going to make it by the time they get to the line? He's not. It's Oliver in 2. It's Holwell in 3. All giving the best to Kai Davis. And look at the time difference coming in, a 16:49 for Davis, a 17:21.3 for Oliver, and a 17:21.5 for Holwell.
Can I tell you, that is the second fastest time of the day set by Davis, and it's the 4th and 5th fastest time of the day set by Oliver and Howell, bearing in mind 5,591 riders have gone up the climb today.
I don't believe that first place is 16:22 either, I'll be brutally honest.
Well, it's a Cannondale rider.
It's a?
Cannondale rider.
A Cannondale squad rider?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, maybe I do. I'll take that back very quickly indeed. There we go, Tom Lindley with a nearly 10 watt per kilo kick coming over the line. Great ride by him for a 4th place here today. We're dropping down with Russ Downing at the moment. So Davis, Oliver, Holwell and Lindley, you're 1, 2, 3, 4. Russ at the moment holding on for 5th place. He was sat there as he came onto the climb. He's continuing to do so as they make their way up here. And always good to see when the riders finally get their breath back and can type. And Isaac Oliver there. Good ride, Phil. Thanks, gang. Yeah, Kai Davis at the front. Phil Holwell, Isaac Oliver, Tom Lindley now on their descent down. They will be riding down, making their way to that blue banner. Remember, the finish line is the top of the climb. I think that's Kai Davis' first win on the Donny Chaingang. Fantastic ride by him, and great to see another name on the front. Rides a bit across, you know.
Yeah?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. Okay. Let's have a look behind Russ. Looks like Mick Hawkins has got Russ in his sights. He's got work to do to pull him back. This is Russ, this is Mick. Mick's got company from Moore as well. So Downing should be able to hold on. He's on 6 seconds, but the fight behind is going to bring them up all the way. I think it's going to be close. Moore's gone over the top of Hawkins, so has Barr. Downing's in there. I think Downing is aware of the danger. He's going to sprint at 7 watts per kilo. Now 8. It's going to be close because immediately behind him is coming Moore and Barr. So Moore and Barr come in behind. Downing takes 5th. It's going to be Moore and Barr coming through. They are on the way in through with Mick Hawkins, with Simon Choppin as well. Liam Mazzoni is going to follow them through. He's going to take away a 10th place here today. as he goes in and through the line. Bundy goes through in 11th with Hewley in close attendance, 11th and 12th. We'll let them sort out who was where. Then it's Gary Page Plunkett in 13th. Lobo is going to take away 14th. Taylor Leach will be the rider who comes through in 15th spot. Then it's going to be Phil Oliver in 16th. It's going to be Barker, I think, in 17th. He's got about 200 metres to go.
Yeah, he's got 200 metres to go, and then 22 seconds back to a small chasing group. We're going to see, I think, potential sprint there between Atkinson and Little behind, but Barker is going to make this clear across the line without that affecting him.
So Barker will come through for 17th place behind. It is Atkinson from Little starting to wind this up. Atkinson, though, has kicked again here. This is going to come down to who has got the pace, who's got the speed here. It's going to be tough stuff today. Who will it be? Who's going to take this away? The sprint is on, and it... Oh! Bad angle from me there on the camera.
So close. I think Little took that from Atkinson, but that is all credit to be able to take a sprint like that at the top of this climb.
And you can't believe necessarily the times on the climb, because that is real battle in to come through now. It's going to be Spencer behind, then it's going to be Wallace, who's just under the line, chased all the way here by Rob Osborne. Mr. Osborne, good to see you back on the gang, and with us a regular.
I tell you what, he's kicking because Kerry is coming behind, and Kerry's coming at pace, but Osborne goes through first. Kerry comes through behind, then I think it's going to be Tunnicliffe, as you can see.
Ted Tunnicliffe should be 24th place as he comes up to the line. Good ride by Ted when it points skywards. And then it's going to be two of our regular riders. It is the one and only Keith Richardson.
Oh, and he saved his power up for the end.
Good move there by Keith Richardson. Will he have done enough here to hold off the chase behind? It should be coming from Altaf and Sam Emsley. It looks to me like Altaf and Hussein and Sam Emsley are going to give best to Keith Richardson, part of the team. They're bringing the Tuesdays. Keith Richardson comes through 25th, 26th for Sam Emsley, 27th for Altaf Hussein as they come in and through the line. Tim Bernard, early attacker on the climb in 28th. Then it's going to be Owen Davis of the Cystic Fibrosis squad. He's going to come in 29th spot.
Catlin's going to be close behind because Catlin and Hager have been battling out, and you can see those two come through over the line. Gareth License coming through as well. They just keep coming.
Yeah, 32nd place for License. That's 31 places behind what you got on Tuesdays, right?
Well, you can't win every single time you get on the bike.
Every time you get on the bike, that's the win in my book.
Well, there you go. It is indeed.
I don't do much.
I'll tell you something, there's going to be a sprint a little bit further back down the hill at the moment because there's a group on their way.
There is indeed. We're going to see Gareth Mason go through. The fat cyclist makes his way in through the line. Then it is going to be Evans who's going to come through. He's chased to the line by John Dixon of Bolsover and District. Then it is the newly crowned Italian stallion, the man himself, Chris Ball, but he has been passed here, and Sharpie's gone over the top. The Galaxy rider has gone for this. Gary Sharp has got them. He caught them napping. He goes to the line. Then it's Forrester. Then it's going to be Gillard. Then it's going to be Ball. I think Malin is going to be right behind him. What a finish. Absolutely brutal up the climb here. Craggle is chasing as well. So Rob Craggle has got company. Will Frambreen be able to close the gap down? The answer is going to be a no.
If we take a little bit look back down, we've got one rider just coming in now. Mennel is the rider here, clear, 20 seconds clear of Oxenham, as we can see. Look at that, nobody in the shot behind. Perfect snap there, if only he had a camera ready.
He does. You can just get a snapshot on Swift. You just press the button on your little menu across the bottom, and Christian Mennel will be able to take a picture of him coming through the line. Simon Oxenham is immediately behind. Then it is going to be Forbes behind him. James Forbes being followed by Andrew McCarthy. Forbes can see the line. He can see Oxenham just on his way on that yellow Tron bike. So Oxenden 44th, 45th will be Forbes if he can hold off Lane.
Yeah, and they're coming fast because Lane's picked up, and I think he's going to come over the top of Oxenham, and he does. So Lane and Forbes just keep coming through the line. I'm loving the riders sprinting at the top of this climb.
So McCarthy sprint done in with Chris Goddard. Chris is a man who gets up very early and goes down to Prince Forge.
Oh, well, it's going to be Donahoe and Wilson up next as the two riders push on to come through. Wilson also comes through with Ferrand, I think, is going to be the next rider we're going to see come into the line.
And Dr. D himself, Rowan Dubash, makes his way through the line with Wilson and co. It is going to be Dan Farron, indeed, of True Sapiens, being followed by Dixon Moore, Richard Small on his way about 13 seconds down, almost equidistant to the riders behind him, which is John Garfoot, Mick Clark. Then it's going to be Ewan Campbell, but it looks like the rider about to hit the line will be Dixon Moore. So nice smooth pedal, 102 revs per minute. Top of that climb. Nice cadence.
That is a good cadence to finish the ride, and Garfoot now can see the finish line as well, and just picking up a little bit to ensure he gets there quicker. Garfoot pushing on, clear of Clark, clear of Campbell. Oh, clear of Langmead as well.
Yeah, so the Royal Navy getting one over the oldest service, getting one over the top of the RAF. The Flyboys at the moment having to give best to the Bug Boys. Sandwiched in between the two servicemen, it's going to be Mick Clark who comes through his service at the moment for the Donny Chaingang.
Resplendent in the new green hat.
It is, yeah. It's good performance, duff hat.
Changing your headwear can create.
I love the fact that our RAF man has a shade and a little quiff. It's very stereotypical.
Riders continuing to come through and over the line. It is Maine, I think, who's going to be the next rider in. It is indeed Gale, 19 seconds down. So I think quite comfortably across the line. We're going to see Tracy then, I think, who's going to be our first female rider through the line today.
I think so. So Rich Langmead made it in through the line. Another Donny Chaingang riders ahead of Doug Main. Doug on his way to the line at the moment. Nice lightweight bike there, making its way up the climb. He's our 58th rider into the line. Then it's going to be John Gale here. Gale going for the full Pinarello, going on brand there.
Colour coordinated.
It is indeed, isn't it? And
look at sock,
nice
shoes, jersey.
If you want to ride fast, you've got to look good.
Absolutely looking good as Gale comes through the line. The rider behind is going to be Tracy. Look at that, she's up, she's out of the saddle, and she's pushing on.
Are we going to see 102 revs per minute from Tracy when she hits the line? Can she spin her legs that quick at the top of the climb? 70 revs per minute, that's a big workout.
Now she's working hard, she's tapped away to the top of the climb and to the polka dot banner. She is about to go through and under that, coming through in 60th place tonight.
So Tracy's time is a 28:11. Goes in through, just ahead of the Stellaton. In comes through 61st place. And quickly off the pedals there, you can see just getting ready to spin his legs down. Good to see both Tracy and Ian getting new PBs on the climb as well. He's dropping back here to Andy Keyworth from the Out of the Saddle Club.
There you go. I was about to say, take a PB whenever you can.
Definitely.
Yeah. My
PB is for the amount of time spent in the cellar for more technical issues.
Well, Matt's setting new PBs today, but not on a bike. And Keyworth, well, can he set a PB up here today? Tracy has done 28 minutes, 11 seconds. That's faster than my best time up here.
There you go. But Tracy does ride her bike a lot more than you do.
She does.
I was going to say something else, I won't. Right. So, Andy Keyworth can see the line. 200 metres to go for Andy out the saddle, 68 revs per minute. at the moment, ahead here of John Finney, Gary Patterson, John Gillard, Chris Canham, and Mally Taylor. All our riders at various stages on the way up the climb. Ian over the top and onto his descent. Andy Keith Whitworth just about to hit the line in that pink and blue jersey. Another Binarello makes its way underneath the banner here on the Donny Chaingang.
Oh, that is indeed 62nd, 63rd. We drop back with Finney from Stellaton Cycling. Finney part and parcel of that early group that formed, if you remember, before we got to the climb itself. So Finney pushing on. Patterson now 48 seconds back.
So a ride on being dropped on to John Finney, who's got 200 metres to go. Good ride by John here today from the Stellaton Club. Yes, named after that Stella. Not the McCartney one. The one that you drink.
Rather than the one that does vegetarian foods.
Yes. Yes. I thought that was the McCartney. Stella.
Oh, well, okay. It's the McCartney.
That is true. There we go. Underneath the line goes John Finney, powered by whatever fuel and food he wants on his way down. His is the liquid type of carbohydrates. However, behind him it is going to be Gary Patterson. A quick reminder, make sure you do recover well. Grab hold of your OTE recovery drink whilst you contemplate what kind of rubber you want to put on your bike for the summer. Get yourselves onto the Goodyear tyre site. If you're a member of the DCG gang, 30% discount. Lots of great tyres on there. You know where to go. If you're a member of the DCG gang, all the links are in your email. The next email that will come out will be one that takes us into February. It's going to be absolutely key you join on time. Quick reminder why. I'm not here. I'm this weekend where I'm covering the UCI Cyclocross for Hoogerheide, the wrap-up of the season of the World Cups. I'm going to be heading out to Tabor, and that means that if you don't join on time, I won't be able to help you because on Thursday I'm travelling. So you're going to have had it. You ain't going to get on the ride. It will be that simple. So please, guys, please, 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 get those entries, get those memberships in on time. Now, Gary Patterson on his way in underneath the gantry, 64th place for him. He's ahead of John Gillard at the moment. John currently just coming past the buildings on the gantry, just visible top left-hand side of the satellite navigation view. Now, a few quick things to keep you up to date with. Quick reminder, if you're watching this for the first time, second time you're thinking how to get on the ride, Thursdays are a free ride. You can jump on board. All we ask is that you register. You do that at www.buyaticket.at/fullspeed events. You see it coming across the bottom left hand side of your screen. www.buytickets.at/fullspeed events.
Do you know what else you can do? You can go on to let me put my teeth back in. Ready?
Go.
You can go on to @MattFixAPain on Instagram. You can click on his profile. The link tree will indeed take you to the buttons to press.
Indeed, so do give us a follow. Make sure you give me a follow. It's @MattFixAPain. It's @biking_Emma. Please do give us a follow. We do a lot of sports, a lot of esports show. Looking forward to covering the World Championships that will be coming up in October. We are going to be back with the Wednesday gang on the WoW. Thursday next week there is likely to be zero broadcast because I am on an airplane to Tabor at that point in time, and there ain't going to be nobody here to press the buttons and do the knobs and faders. It does mean, however, you get a week off, but you will need to make sure that you are a member and get in there. If you want to join the DCG gang, you don't want to be part of your gang. If you want to be part of the DCG gang, you do it in the same place. And if you are a member in February, don't forget it gives you access to the tickets for the meal at Nonna's. It's a select group of members of the DCG gang in February, and of course those people who've joined for the whole year, please do jump on board. It does all help us make sure that we get the show on the road. So looks like Chris Canham just going over the top there of Gillard. Canham taking out Gillard at the very top of the climb there, puts the kick in. John Gillard comes through behind him, and that means that our last rider on to the climb is going to be Mally Taylor. Good ride by Mally, nicely well up the climb here today. So the riders making the way in. Mally Taylor, Mally, enjoy your run up to the top of the climb. Well done to all of our riders who are on the way up, who are over the top and on the way down towards that blue banner. Mally doing a sterling job here, really working well, and great to see the determination here, Emma.
Yeah, really good, and that continued tapping on the pedals, setting the pace, comfortable in his power to get to the top of that climb.
So well done to Mally, to all of our riders. Congratulations to Tracy, our fastest female rider, to Kai Davis, who took the win at the top of the mountain here in Innsbruck. Now we're going to leave Mally on his final run up these slopes, and we're just going to jump back in. Emma, it's nice to have you down in the studio for the Donny Chaingang here today. A great ride up at the front, a good ride by all of our riders, and it certainly shows it works, doesn't it? We see riders improving all the time.
Oh, yes, and I think a couple of things shows it works. We see riders improving all the time. We see riders, and we did tonight, so, that's 17 seconds faster than my last PB. That's better than this, that's better than that. And we see riders continuing to sprint each other at the top of the climb because they haven't lost that competitive edge, even though they've been climbing for nearly 7.5 kilometres.
I know, a bigger old climb to finish it off. Don't forget, next time on a Thursday, we are going to be in February, so if you're a member, you'll needed to join. Don't forget, of course, that you need to register. We have Tuesdays at Donny Chaingang for members only. We have the BHow Chaingang Women Only Wednesdays, organised by Emma. We'll be showing that on the Full Speed Events YouTube channel. Don't forget, next Thursday for the Open to registered riders, Donny Chaingang. You need to get those registrations in. Remember, if you're registering just for that one ride, it's 25 hours to 1 hour in front. The cutoff is at 1 hour to go. And if you miss that cutoff, you will have had it, because I'm not going to be able to reply to your emails. And there is always one or two who miss it. It's going to be tough luck next week. In the meantime, in between, don't forget, please do join Emma and myself. We'll be on the mic covering cycling esports on Sunday morning. I will be on the mic for the UCI World feed. So if your computer thinks it's in Sao Paulo, in Brazil, somewhere which is not geo-restricted, basically anywhere in the globe that doesn't have GCN Eurosport, basically you're going to get me. So your computer might want to go have a holiday there for the day. If it does, I'm not suggesting it does, because holidays are not good for the workforce, but they are good if you want to hear me. So please do give us a listen, give us a watch. Watch the season finale from Hugo Heider. Give us a watch on the World Championships. That's going to be coming out on a lot of places. Additionally, the World Championships are from a classic course in Tabor in Czechia, the Czech Republic. That is going to be an absolute blast. We've got some really good competition coming up there. Will we see Matthew van der Poel take his 8th title in the men's competition? In the women's, can Fem van Empel defend her world title? In the elites, and for the first time, we are actually going to be covering the relay as well, which I'm really looking forward to, because it really does set the scene. The team relay is a bit like the Donny Chaingang, but in countries and on a cyclocross course. It's always great fun. I'm going to be there. I'm hoping you're going to be there. Emma, thank you for being here. I think it's time for the one and only traditional. Thank you very much for joining us. Stay safe. We'll see you again soon.
Goodbye.